It's starting to feel like summer, but contaminated waters often keep our local beaches closed. In tonight's special assignment, News 4's George Rickert tells us about a possible solution to the pollution problem. It's a story you'll see only at 6.
But because it's a cove and a bay, the water doesn't move in and out as much.
It happens every summer after a heavy rain. High bacteria levels force the closure of Woodlawn Beach.
I just assumed it was a sewer plant.
The Southtown sewage treatment plant is right next to the beach, taking in most of the sewage from the Southtowns, treating it with chlorine and releasing it back into Lake Erie.
We disinfect the wastewater coming out of the facility around the clock. It's analyzed on literally every 3 minutes. We analyze the chlorine being injected into the wastewater.
The treated water is pumped out into the lake through a half-mile underwater pipe right in front of the beach. But get this.
Is this half of the problem? Is it less than half of the problem?
Honestly, I would say it's less than half of the problem. They have a very large storage capacity. So there have only been 3 times since 2003 when sewage was literally pumped out of it untreated.
Some UB students have studied the issue for months and determined a much larger source of the bacteria may be coming from the north end of the beach, where Rush Creek empties into the lake.
This brings all sorts of bacteria and contaminants from miles and miles upstream, and it puts it right into this swimming beach.
And unlike what comes out of the treatment plant, this creek water is untreated. It includes the fertilizer runoff from farms and gardens, backyard dog feces, and after a heavy rain, sometimes sewage mixes into the drainage pipes in Blaisdell and Hamburg. The DEC permits pumping stations like this one in Blaisdell during a heavy rain to drop some of that overflow mixture right back into Rush Creek.
We actually have a plan in place to eliminate those overflows. It's actually called the Rush Creek Interceptor Project.
Erie County has set aside $8 million and is close to getting $5 million more from the state to eliminate several older pumping stations and send more water directly to the Southtowns treatment facility for proper disposal. That could take years to finish. But these UB students are floating some quicker fixes, like a solar-powered water circulation machine, which costs about $50,000. It's been used with success in a lake in North Dakota to stir up the bacteria at the lake bottom so that the sun's rays can kill it instantly.
It's actually bringing up E. coli, which is then killed by UV radiation.
The sun's rays are free and could also kill the bacteria that lies dormant in the sand at Woodlawn, if it was raked down at least a foot and turned over. Grad student Jennifer O'Neill proposes raking it in sections and designating the overturned sections as family zones.
So the contamination risk for children or anybody who's going to be digging or playing in the sand is then decreased.
We don't have to build a new sewer system to stop our pollution problem. There's other ways around it.
They are new ideas for an old problem at Woodlawn Beach. George Rickert, News 4.
And a new law went into effect just a few days ago that requires sewage treatment plants like the one George just told us about to warn the public about pollution. You can find more information about that law on our website, WIVB.com.